Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy, and in this one, we are back with another special video for the 100K. Probably have one or two more videos planned with some special stuff based on like what people had put in the community tab and whatnot for suggestions, and this is going to be the compilation of the leave a like or else, or, you know, if you leave a like, this happens, that stuff right there. I don't know exactly why I did it. I just randomly one time was just like, yeah, leave a like or shit like that happens. And I think the first video that I could find of me doing it was the Super Chill Hyper Duels when that game mode was out, which was about 5 months ago. So I did it a few times here and there, and then people were just like, hi, I like this, so I kept doing it. So I guess that's what we've turned into. We have weird noises and also this like leaving the like thing, but hopefully you guys will enjoy this. It's over 30 minutes, so you can tell that your boy kind of talks a lot when he's doing these, you know, leave a like or else ones. Let me know which one is your favorite. I don't know how I come up with this stuff, but if you make it through the entire video, you guys are the true fucking MVPs. I love you. Thank you again for the 100K. Make sure you enter that giveaway, which the link will be in the top of the description, so you can potentially win some autographed For Honor posters, some GamerSubs gift cards, as well as unreleased Tony merch, which is going to be pretty epic. You guys have until Wednesday to enter in that, and then I'm going to pick the winners in that and contact everybody. So make sure you do that. You don't want to miss out on it. Hopefully you enjoy this one, guys. I'm not going to give a new special leave a like on this because it's like 30 plus minutes of that exact thing going on. So just let me know which one's your favorite. Again, thanks for the 100K. Love you guys. Peace. And before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, you'll have to sleep with socks on for the rest of your life, and simply you can't trust a person who sleeps with their socks on, so we wouldn't want that to happen. But thank you for the support as always. You thought we were just gonna hop into it without me asking you guys to leave a like? Well, I would appreciate it. I actually just forgot, honestly, but now we're back here, so I'd appreciate it if you guys left a like on this, because I hear if you do, there might be some more stuff announced for For Honor from E3. I mean, probably not, but it's wishful thinking, I guess. Appreciate your guys' support as always. Before we get in the video, guys, appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, you'll forever have a greasy controller, and you simply don't want that. That's one of the worst feelings ever. I'd probably have all of my limbs amputated before I have a greasy controller, so I appreciate the support, guys. Before we get in the video, guys, appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, the next pair of socks you put on will have at least one hole in it, and honestly, one hole in your pair of socks ruins your day, so appreciate the support, guys. Thank you very much. Before we get the video started, guys, I'd appreciate it if you dropped a like, because I hear if you don't, the next time you use a sauce, something like ketchup or something, you will not actually get the ketchup out. You'll instead get that liquidy, watery ketchup pre-cum that is just disgusting, or with any sauce for that matter. And honestly, I don't know if there's anything worse in this life than that. It kind of just ruins your entire day and the meal that you were probably eating. So thank you guys for the support. Appreciate it a lot. But before we get into that, guys, I would appreciate it if you dropped a like on the video, because here if you don't, you'll be forced to use every utensil backwards, meaning you'll have to grab like a spoon by the spoon part, and you got to use the handle for shit. That's not going to be easy for you guys. Believe me, I've been trying for like 10 years, so I've kind of like mastered this shit, but it's going to be pretty difficult for you guys, so I would appreciate it if you left a like. Make sure to drop a like, because I hear if you don't, that you will get hit in the head with a fucking penis. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye. And before we get in the video, guys, appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because if you don't, I will personally show up to your house and disassemble your Hot Wheels track and hide the pieces in various parts of your home, thus making it very difficult for you to Hot Wheel. I don't know what the action of Hot Wheels is. Hot Wheeling? You guys get the idea. It wouldn't be good. So appreciate the support. But what I will say before is I'd appreciate it if you left a like on the video. See, if you don't, a squirrel will pee on you. I don't think I've ever seen a squirrel urinate, but you're going to see it up close and personal because he's going to be doing it on you. So thank you for the support. Appreciate that. And thanks for watching. Before we get into the video, guys, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because here if you don't, your parents will take away your pogo stick. And let's be honest, how are you supposed to pogo with the boys without your pogo stick? We simply do not want that to happen. So I'd appreciate if you left a like. Thanks for the support. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you do, you'll get a free jailbreak on your iPod Touch. Let me tell you, those are hard to come by. That's extremely rare. You guys don't want to miss this opportunity. Better go ahead and like that video. Thank you for the support. But before we even think about getting into the video, guys, you gotta drop a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you try to leave a tooth under your pillow for the tooth fairy, you'll actually receive no financial compensation. Let me tell you, that is not what you want at all. Your tooth's gonna be gone, and you're just going to have no money. That's right, robbed by the Tooth Fairy. We simply cannot let that happen, so you better go leave a like. I appreciate the support, guys. Thank you. But before we get into the video, guys, appreciate if you left a like on the video, because I hear if you do, next time you go into multiplayer, you won't have fucking battle resolution on your screen. Oh my gosh, it's just simply the most annoying things. Get rid of the faction war. I don't need it. I'm not foolproof that strategy of liking the video will work, but I mean, it's not going to hurt either, so I appreciate your guys' support, because I hear if you don't drop a like, your mom is not going to make SpaghettiOs for you next Tuesday when she promised you, so you're better off leaving a like to make sure that you get that good food in your stomach. Thank you for the support. But before we get into this video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, we'll have to put you into gulag, and you do not want. So you're better off leaving a fucking like. Thank you for the support, because you probably should do it this time for real, because I hear if you don't, you guys should know that usually if you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation, but if you don't like this video, you may not receive that financial compensation. And honestly, that's tragic. So you're better off dropping a like. Appreciate the support. But before we get into it, guys, just leave a like on the video. I mean, because I hear if you don't, I mean, me in particular will be quite sad, because it's my birthday, and I would appreciate you to give a like on it. I mean, I'm just literally holding this birthday thing over your guys' head in order to get some sort of likes and stuff, so I can maybe pay my bills for the next month coming up, and I don't have to resort to doing things that I hate. So thank you very much. That was extremely morbid. All right, take care. Just drop a like on the video. Would greatly appreciate it, simply for the fact that I did not die on the plane to and from my destinations, so that's great, right? I'm still here living. Definitely an epic moment. That's a safe moment number 12 right there. You love to see it, so I'd appreciate if you guys left a like, and thank you. But before we get into this video, guys, would appreciate if you left a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you go to make a sandwich, you just won't have any bread. And something tells me that bread is kind of a staple you need for a sandwich. It is like the foundation, and without it, you're just holding on to meat and lettuce and whatever else you got in your hand, and that's disgusting. Unsanitary, definitely. So be sure to drop a like. But before we get into this video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, the next time you put on your shoes, your aglets will fall off. Now, if you guys are wondering, what the fuck's an aglet? Well, that is the little plastic piece on the end of your shoelaces. And you might be thinking, yeah, well, that serves zero purpose. And I would probably also agree with you. But it would piss me off if they just fell off, you know, right? They were supposed to be on there, and now they're not. And that would just make me really angered. So better off leaving a like on the video. Appreciate the support. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you go to clip your nails, you'll accidentally clip one a little too short, and then it'll start hurting, which would be a very big inconvenience for at least 2 days for you. So we obviously don't want that. You want appropriate nail length. You don't want to clip it a little too short. It's painful, but believe me, I've been there. You're better off leaving a like. Thank you for the support. But before we get into that, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on this video, because I hear if you don't, next time you have a Capri Sun, when you go to put the straw in, you're actually going to push it so hard that it's going to poke out of the back. Let me tell you why that's a bad thing, right? One, you go to take a sip, and then you realize you don't got any juice. And then you're like, who took all my juice? And then you pull out the straw, realize that now there's a hole in the back of it, and then it's squirting everywhere. And then you've lost some of your Capri Sun, which if you don't get 100% of the Capri Sun, it's going to make you mad, all right? Then you're going to have to get a new Capri Sun, and then you basically just wasted one. Or you like put it into a glass or whatever, you know, all that shit. But that just takes too much effort, right? Honestly, you don't want to be wasting it, so you're better off leaving a like. But before we get into it, would appreciate it if you dropped a like, because I hear if you do, maybe, just maybe, next season is the season for Tony to get it on 4 Honor. We'll see. You know what? It's not going to hurt, right? I appreciate all of you guys. Enjoy. But before we get into the video, everybody, I would appreciate it if you left a like on it, because I hear if you don't, when you go to bed tonight, you're going to hear Graytar screaming in your dreams. And let's just be honest. No one wants that, all right? You're not going to go to sleep. You're going to have nightmares. You're not going to be able to sleep for weeks, because all you're going to hear is this screaming, yeah, in your head. It's like the little crack kid who gets hit in the head with the basketball. That's what Graytar is if he was just a little bit older, right? We don't want that. Sure better off leaving a like. But before we get into this one, guys, I would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, the next time you go onto the 4 Honor game and go to your orders, you'll have nothing but fucking rectangles, all right? You just don't want this to happen, okay? Because I can't read rectangles. Can you? Probably not. 24. What does that mean? It's a show? I don't know. 12. I'm assuming this is Vanguard. I don't know. 6. Like what? They're all multiples of 6. That's what it is. Or they're all multiples of 3. What the? What do the numbers mean, Mason? I don't know. You should just drop a like because I'm getting fucking angry now. Into it. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, when you go to sleep tonight and try to plug in your nightlight, it's going to not work. And let's be honest, we simply do not want that to happen. Who's going to vanquish all the foes of the darkness if your nightlight isn't going to be there to protect you? So you probably should just leave a like in order to, you know, make sure you sleep soundly tonight. But before we get into the video, guys, you probably should drop a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you go outside, your lips will be mildly chapped, and you will have no chapstick to remedy the situation. So that's going to be really annoying, and, you know, honestly, the chappedness probably is just going to increase from there. So better off leaving a like. Would greatly appreciate it. Oh, and sub, too. We're nearing on the 100K. Would really appreciate it. Love you guys. Oh, but before we get in the video, you know, I got to tell you to leave a like on it, because I hear if you don't, your nose will be stuffed up. Just one nostril, though, preventing you to breathe adequately. And it's going to be quite an annoyance. It's not really going to inhibit any of your daily functions, but it's going to be really annoying. You're going to have to blow your nose a lot. Might be trouble for you sleeping. You might have to be a mouth breather. We don't like those people now, do we? So, better off dropping a like. Appreciate it. But before we get into the video, everybody, I would appreciate it if you left a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you go to set your alarm to get up in the morning for whatever duties you may have, you're actually going to set it for the opposite time. Therefore, if you have to get up in the AM, it's going to be set for the PM. And that means that you're going to have to miss your job, and then you're going to lose your job, and then you're going to lose your wife, and Karen's going to take the fucking kids again. All right? We don't want that, all right? So just go ahead and like the video. Appreciate you guys. Love you all. Thanks. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, and the next time you try to use a pen or any type of writing utensil, it just won't work. You know that thing when you try to, you know, you got to write something down, you got a pen out, thinking, okay, I can write this little quick thing, and then nothing comes out of the pen. You shake it a little bit, you hit the clicky button a few times, still nothing works, and then you have to get a new pen. It's a bit of an inconvenience, let's be honest, so you're better off leaving a like on the video. But before we get into the video, guys, first off, thank you. We hit 90,000 subs on the channel. That is crazy. 10K away from 100K, but would appreciate it if you left a like on this video, because I hear if you don't, your homies will no longer tuck you in good night. So it's honestly something that we really do not want to see, all right? How do you get a good night's sleep without your homies tucking you in, all right? You need to be like a basic, like a blanket burrito when you're going to bed, all right? You don't get your homies to, you know, give you a little tuck action. You're not going to be like that. You're going to be uncomfortable throughout the night, not get a good night's sleep. So it's better off if you left a like. Appreciate it, guys. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because if you don't, the next time you're trying to summit Mount Everest, you're actually going to misplace one of your footholds and then fall 16,000 feet. I don't want to say to your demise, because that might get me demonetized for this video, and I don't want that to happen. So you'll pretty much just be a vegetable at that point, but you don't want that to happen. That's definitely for sure. You're better off leaving a like. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, the next time you spill a glass of milk, you actually will cry. Despite the saying directly telling you to not cry over spilled milk, you're going to do it anyways, and we definitely don't want that. The saying's untrue then, and then you're just going to get pissed at yourself, right? And why are you crying? Because you spilled a glass of milk. You can just wipe it up. It's not that big of a deal, but you're going to do it. So better off leaving a like. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you log into Minecraft, your actual Minecraft GF will break up with you, and we just can't have that. That's really unfortunate, so better off leaving a like. Thanks for the support. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you go out in public, you'll probably go ahead to use the restroom, right? All right, you gotta relieve yourself a little bit, but you'll make one crucial mistake. You'll forget to zip up your pants, leaving your fly open, and then that's embarrassing, because then someone's gonna have to probably tell you, hey, dude, your fly's open. I ain't trying to see the dingling right now, all right? And then you're like, oh, shit, and then you have to zip it up, and it's just an awkward situation, to be completely honest, so you're better off leaving a like. Thank you. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you go to get your bread, make a Sammy maybe, there's going to be only 2 end pieces. Yeah, that's right. The butt ends of the bread. Some people, you know what? They like it. And you know what? We know what I say to them? You're wrong. But you don't want to have 2 end pieces for your bread. It's like, it's just disgusting. It's not presentable. It shouldn't go into your mouth. That's for damn sure. It's just, it's disgusting. It's a disgrace, to put it frankly. So don't want that to happen. Appreciate it if you left a like. Thanks for the support. Oh, but before we get in the video, you know, I had to start off by asking you guys to leave a like, because here if you don't, next time you go to lay down in your bed, maybe go to sleep, maybe take a little nap, or just, you know, chill, relax. You're going to have to pee immediately, which is very annoying, right? Because you want to be in bed. Maybe you're trying to go to bed. If you have to pee, it's going to be pretty hard to fall asleep. because then you have to get out of your bed and then you have to go pee and then lay down. Like it's a 2-minute inconvenience potentially, and it's just not good. You could just risk it all and then piss the bed, but we don't want that to happen because that's disgusting, well, to be completely honest. So you're better off leaving a like. Appreciate it. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it. You know why? Because I hear if you don't, well, frankly, I'll just kind of be a little bit sad, and I don't really want to be sad. There's too many things in life that, you know, make you sad. So this would make me quite happy. So if you guys could do that, I would really appreciate you. Love you all. Thank you. Your support is amazing. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you left a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you're enjoying yourself a nice meal, you're going to actually bite your tongue. And let me tell you why that's not good. Because number one, it hurts. Number two, it might bleed. And then you're going to be forced to continue to eat with also the taste of your own blood in your mouth. That is not epic, if I have to say so myself. Not a fun thing. But if you guys didn't know, did you know that the mouth is the fastest healing part of the body? Just throwing that out there. A little fun fact for you. But make sure you like, because don't want to bite your tongue. Make sure you like the video. Otherwise, the next time you mean to do something, you're going to forget. And that's not good, because you might not remember like I did as I'm editing the video. You might not have footage to look back on and realize you messed up. You might, you know, forget to drive your wife to the hospital when she's in labor, and then all of a sudden you're giving birth to a baby in the back of a Denny's or something. I don't know. It could, you know what? Just don't forget things. Make sure you like the video. Oh, but before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like. So here, if you don't, you're going to lose all of your friends to Classic WoW, like I have. Kind of sucks. I have no one to talk to. It's pretty unfortunate. We don't want that to happen. Thanks for the support, guys. Love you. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you have to, like, burp, you know, you feel a little build up in your stomach, you're going to burp, but you're actually going to throw up a little bit in your mouth, and that just kind of can ruin your entire day. Let's be honest. The taste is terrible. It's like, yeah, I didn't want to taste my stomach acid, but thank you, body. I appreciate it. Then you got to, like, use mouthwash, like, brush your teeth again, because the taste isn't getting out. That's for damn sure, unless you're into that kind of stuff. And if that's the case, then yikes. But thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. But before we get into it, guys, would appreciate it if you dropped a like on the video, because I hear if you don't, you're going to get a stain on your shirt. And let me tell you, that's not epic. I mean, if you don't go anywhere, doesn't really matter, because you can just lock yourself in your room. But let's just say you have to make yourself somewhat presentable. You definitely don't want a stain on your shirt, right? Then people are going to be like, what the, just a little stainer over here. And then you're like, oh, yeah, probably should change that. So better off leaving a like. Don't want to take the risk. Thank you for the support. But before we get into the video, guys, first, make sure, again, you check out GamerSupps. Link is in the top of the description. Make sure to use code Tony if you're interested in trying out the product. And also make sure you're following the Twitch to stay up to date with all the live streams and such. But also, of course, drop a like on the video, because I hear if you don't, the next time you are maybe traveling somewhere, you need to use your GPS because you're unfamiliar with the area you are going to. Your phone is going to die in the middle of you going to said place, which is going to be bad for a number of reasons, because you're not going to have like too much of a way to get to your destination without knowing where exactly it is. Unless you're some sort of just like absolute mind reader or directional god, I don't know. It's going to be pretty difficult for you. So you don't want that to happen. Appreciate the support, guys. Thanks. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like, because I hear if you don't, next time that you're hungry, you're not going to have anything to eat. It's going to be really upsetting, right? Because you're just going to be like sitting there maybe you're out or something. You're like, man, I could really use like a snack or like a meal or some sort, and you just don't have anything available to you. So you're going to continue to think about it because you're still hungry, and it's going to make you even more hungrier until finally, well, you die. No, probably not going to happen. You'll probably get food at some point, but you're better off leaving a like. You don't want to take the risk. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, you might get sick soon, because your boy right now is also kind of feeling a bit sick. And you know what it was? I forgot to like my own video. Yes, you got to like your own stuff too. I'm in the same boat as you guys. You know, I'm not just telling you to get likes on these videos. I have to do it myself, or otherwise the bad things happen to me too. All right, this isn't just a one-way street. I gotta do it too, and you guys gotta do it. So yeah, your boy's feeling a little shitty right now. So don't want that to happen, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. Better off leaving a like. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you're in some sort of motorized vehicle, you're trying to put on your seatbelt, it's going to do that stupid thing where you try to put it down to lock it in, and it just sticks in the same position, and then you try to go slow, and then just nothing works, and then you got to like release it, let it go all the way back up to the top, and then you try to pull it back down again, and it just won't do it, and then you're forced to tough it out, and then put it on the seatbelt, or just not wear a seatbelt, and then that's a risk of you like flying through the windshield and like dying, so we don't want that. You know, buckle up. They say, what is it? Click it or you're dead or something like that. I think that's the jingle. But anyways, you don't want that to happen. You want to just be able to put on your seatbelt and go about the day. Better off leaving the like. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, be sure to drop a like, because I hear if you don't, next time you're out in a public place, maybe you're in school, in the classroom, in a setting, it's not the loudest scenario. Your stomach, maybe you hadn't eaten that much that day. It's going to start a growling, and it's going to be loud, and people are going to hear it. And that's not very epic, because it's very embarrassing for some reason when your just bowel movements don't want to participate in the correct form of just not making noises. They just kind of just, and it's just not a good sound to hear, and it's quite unfortunate. So it's a very annoying thing. I hate when it happens to me as well. We're all not safe from it, but if you like the video, I hear it definitely decreases your chance of it happening. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time maybe you're in an elite gaming session or something just important on your computer, Windows is going to force update you, and it's going to close you out of whatever you're doing. It's going to be really unfortunate. And then before you guys even comment, hey, but Tony, I use Mac. Well, then you're not a gamer. I'm sorry. If you use Mac, you're not. You literally have not even touched the surface that is gaming. So don't even think about me. If you ain't using the Windows, you haven't been gaming. And if you're like, but Tony, I play, you know what? Your console's gonna shut off. All right, it's gonna shut off in the middle of something cool. We don't want that to happen. And you know what? It's just not good. So you're better off leaving a like. Appreciate it. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because if you don't, next time you go to sleep, you're actually going to drool on your pillow. And to be honest, I don't really know if that's that big of a deal. But for some reason, I feel like it would be slightly annoying if that happened, right? Kind of wake up and just see a puddle there or something of your own spit and you laid in it, basically. It's kind of just like, yeah, I don't know why I did that. But hey, probably it's just, to be on the safe side, let's just say, you're probably better off leaving a like. Appreciate it. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because I hear if you don't, the next time you go to lay down to go to sleep, both sides of your pillow are going to be warm. And let me tell you, that is terrible. You know why? Well, personally, I can't sleep unless I got a cold side of the pillow, right? You sleep on one side, it might get a little warm. If you can't fall asleep in that time, at least you can turn it over, and then you got the other side to be cold. But if both sides are warm right off the get-go, you just consider yourself not sleeping, all right? That's terrible. If you like warm pillows, then what the hell? You are some sort of psychotic person, or you just prefer warm pillows. I don't know. But anyways, it's probably better off for you to just leave a like on it. We don't want that to happen. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because I hear if you don't, next time you're just like sitting or something, maybe you accidentally sit on your leg or something, you know, with one of those little crossed motions. You sit on it, your leg's going to fall asleep. And then you're going to have to like get up. Maybe you got to use the restroom. And your leg's going to be like all numb and shit. And then you're going to try to step. And then it's going to feel weird. And then you're going to fall over. And then you're going to be like, well, this is stupid. And you're just going to be like, you got to wait like a minute or something. And then you're back to normal. But anyways, it's quite an inconvenience when any part of your body falls asleep. Like I remember I used to fall asleep on my arm all the time. And then I would try to turn off my alarm in the morning, and I couldn't move my arm. It was pretty feels bad, man, dude. I did not enjoy that. But so if you don't want this to happen to you, you guys are better off leaving a like. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because here, if you don't, you're gonna get a blister. Not exactly saying where, but somewhere on your body you will get a blister. And blisters are not very fun because you know they fill up. They get those weird juices in them that potentially will just leak randomly and get on like your clothes, or maybe if it's on your foot, it could get on your sock, and that's kind of gross, right? And so you have a couple choices. You can pop it, you can like cut around the skin and stuff and that, and then once you've done that, you've exposed it to the air, it'll probably heal. But then like if you go into like the shower and then like if you ever had water just like hit a blister, that's pretty painful. I don't enjoy it, wouldn't recommend it. So to avoid the blisters, you better drop a like. Better to be safe than sorry. But before we get into the video, everyone, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because here if you don't, the moment that you start watching this video, it might start buffering, and that's not good. You want to know why? Because then you can't see the epic gaming that we are going to embark on this journey today in the For Honor. We definitely want you to view that, all right? You can't be buffering, dude. Your ISP's got to be, you know, kicking it into overdrive so you can view the entire thing uninterrupted, all right? We need that to happen, all right? So you better off leaving a like. But before we get into the video, everyone, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because here if you don't, the moment that you start watching this video, it might start buffering, and that's not good. You want to know why? Because then you can't see the epic gaming that we are going to embark on this journey today in the For Honor. We definitely want you to view that, all right? You can't be buffering, dude. Your ISP's got to be, kicking it into overdrive so you can view the entire thing uninterrupted. All right, we need that to happen. All right, so you better off leaving a like. But before we end the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because here, if you don't, next time you try to log into something, whatever it be, maybe it's like your Netflix account, YouTube account, or something, you're gonna end up typing in your password too many wrong times, and it's gonna lock you out for 867 years, and that's not gonna be pretty epic because you most likely don't have that long of a lifespan. So in order to be able to safely log into your accounts, I just hear liking the video helps out just a bit. So you're better off doing that. Better to be safe than sorry, I always say. But before we end the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because I hear if you don't, next time you maybe go to look at your phone, check the time. As mine literally I just got a notification as that happened. You look at your phone, you're like, oh, it's the time. And then you put your phone away. And then you're like, wait, what time is it? And then you got to pull your phone back out. So you immediately have to do that again. So you have to pull your phone out twice because you're stupid and couldn't remember it. But it's okay. Happens to me too. So we don't want that to happen. We're only looking to pull out once, right? Pull out game strong. We can't be doing it a second time. All right? So, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but leave a like. Appreciate it, guys. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. So here, if you don't, you will lose both of your thumbs. And let me tell you, the thumbs are a very quintessential point of the human body. All right? Without them, it's going to make a lot of trivial tasks very difficult. Like tying your shoes and putting a straw in a Capri Sun. That's all I can think of at the moment, but I'm sure there's others that would be really terrible. But for those two alone, you should probably just drop a like. Appreciate it. Oh, but before we get into the video, guys, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because here, if you don't, you're just going to keep yawning, even when you're not tired. Now, I know this isn't really a big deal, but, sometimes you're just like, I don't want to yawn, all right? It's not the time for the yawning. I'm not yearning for the yawn, right? You don't want that to happen because maybe eventually you will get tired. Maybe you're with someone in the room, you yawn, and then they're going to yawn. Because apparently on Mythbusters, when I watched it like 15 years ago, they said that yawning is contagious or some shit. So then you're going to yawn, and it's going to be a yawn cycle. We don't want that to happen, all right? Nothing is worse than a yawn cycle. Trust me, don't want to go there. Better off leaving a like. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because here, if you don't, the next time you sneeze, that like weird congestion shit's gonna come out of your body from somewhere, and it's gonna get like either on your hand or your like sleeve where you're sneezing into, or even worse, maybe you shoot it projectile like at someone and it hits them, which is pretty disgusting. But no matter where it lands, that shit is it's the goop. That's what I call it. It's the goop that comes from the. I actually don't know where it comes from, but it's kind of gross, right? And you don't want that to happen. So to keep your sneezes in order and safe, you're better off leaving a like. Appreciate it. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because if you don't, next time you're chewing a piece of gum, you're actually going to swallow it. And let me tell you, that's not its intended use. You're not supposed to just eat the gum. If you do, then I guess all the power to you. They used to say that thing where if you swallow a piece of gum, it takes like 7 years to digest. I don't know if that's an accurate statement, but still, we don't want to risk it. You're not supposed to eat it. You got to spit it out when it's done, when it's lost flavor. So, in order to avoid that, you guys are better off leaving a like. Appreciate it. But before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, you'll actually get an eyelash in your eye, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of eyelashes. They're supposed to keep things from out of your eye, but when one of them actually betrays you and goes into your eye, that's gonna suck. You might actually have to put your finger in there to try to get it out, and then you like to have to touch your eyeball or something, and that's kind of weird. Or you have to do that thing where you like blink a bunch, maybe it'll fall out, or maybe it just doesn't come out for a hot minute, and it's really annoying. And yeah, so in order to combat that, I hear leaving a like actually helps by like 58%. So better off doing that, guys. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, appreciate if you left a like on it, because if you don't, you're going to be chilling in your room, maybe gaming or something. Someone's going to come into your room, all right? Not the end of the world, okay? They're going to come in and say, something like that. But then when they leave, they're not going to shut the door, all right? And then you're just thinking to yourself, what? Why didn't you not just shut the door? It was shut before, and you're going to leave with door open, and then you have to get up and then close it yourself, and it's really like a 5-second ordeal, and it's just really not worth your time, though. It's like, be a little bit more reasonable, person who came into my room. Shut the damn door on your way out, all right? Better off leaving a like, guys. Appreciate it. But before we get into the video, guys, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because here, if you don't, you will actually get a canker sore, which is just simply not epic. You might get it on the side of your cheek, maybe on the tongue, Maybe it's just on the tip of it right there and it's just touching your teeth. Those things are stupid. It's like, what is it? Like you eat a bunch of sodium or sugar or something and it makes those little things on your tongue. Pretty annoying, right? You don't want it. What doesn't cause any good, right? It's just going to be an annoyance. We don't want that. And I heard liking this video definitely decreases your chances. Science has proved it, so you're better off doing that. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you wake up in the morning, you're just going to be sore in some random area. And let's just be honest, that happens a little bit too frequently now, doesn't it? You can be like, I don't really think I exerted myself, but for some reason my shoulder is just killing me, or just my foot hurts, or just something random. I don't know. Your body likes to just fucking send pain to you, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I've had that happen where I just wake up and I'm just like, ow, ouch. Maybe it'll be your neck. Maybe you'll sleep on your neck in a poor way, and then you'll wake up with a little kink in it. And that's not good. Bad stuff. Definitely don't want that to happen. Leaving a like definitely helps. I did hear it. It's proven. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because here, if you don't, next time you're on For Honor and you actually queue up to go into a game, no matter the mode, you're going to be in the queue for over 10 minutes. And once you finally get that glimmer of hope of a lobby, your game is going to crash. And then you're just not even going to play the game anymore. Because honestly, at that point, do you really want to just load it back up and go through the same process again? No, you don't. But I hear if you leave a like, gaming will be saved, so better off doing that. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, this Halloween season, you're gonna get spooked without your knowledge, and to be honest, that's something that we can't let happen, right? I'm all for the spooks and stuff, but when it's an unintended spook, or it's an non-warranted spook, I don't know if that's the correct terminology, it's just one that you don't expect coming, and then you get spooked, it's not good. Not good stuff. Believe me, don't want it to happen. We need to stay spook-free this Halloween, and the only way to do that, I hear, is leaving a like on the video. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, we appreciate you dropped a like on it. Here, if you don't, next time you go to drink a beverage, perhaps water, a soda, maybe some juice, it's going to go down the windpipe. And let me tell you, that is not the correct pipe for liquids to be traveling down. It's because, you got to breathe through it. And when you're breathing, and then you also have some sort of liquid in there, that's just not going to work. You're going to go into like a coughing fit for like 20 seconds at least. Your eyes might water. It's just an all-around bad thing. We got those two pipes in there for some reason. Why is there the possibility of it to go down the other one? Well, I guess it would actually make sense because both have to be connected to come out your mouth, stuff like that, because you got to be able to breathe and shit like that. But anyways, I digress. You don't want that to happen, all right? In order to keep your windpipe safe of liquids and just air, leave a like. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because here, if you don't, next time you go to get steel on For Honor, maybe you need a little steel pack purchase. Like myself, I needed a little bit to get the Lycan outfit. It's actually going to take them forever for them to actually give you your steel. You're going to buy it. You're going to think, wow, now I can finally get that new outfit or execution that I wanted. But instead, you're going to have to wait like 2 hours before it's going to actually show you that you've received your steel, which is very unepico, to say the least. So, yeah, in order to avoid that, you're better off leaving a like. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, you will forever be cursed in any multiplayer game with bad teammates. And you might be thinking, hey, Tony, I always get fucking bad teammates. But, you know what? It could be true. But it's not going to hurt, right? You're kind of at your wit's end at the moment. So in order to potentially get yourself some high IQ gamers, in the potentially triple digits, better off leaving a like. Appreciate it, guys. Oh, but before we get into the video, guys, we appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because here, if you don't, next time you go to put on a shirt, or maybe like a sweatshirt of some sort, some sort of article of clothing, you're going to put it on inside out, which isn't the end of the world. Obviously, you can just turn it back inside out because, it's that's how shirts work, but it's just going to be a little bit of annoyance. Like, what if you don't realize, and then you go out in public and someone's like, hey, your shirt's inside out, and you're like, oh fuck. Then you have to like maybe risk making it better in public, which is a no-go, where you got to find yourself a public restroom to do it, and that just is a little bit more of a hassle. Definitely don't want to be caught with your shirt inside out, so better off leaving a like. I also thought to myself, when is the time going to be to when I actually repeat one of these things for leaving a like? I hope that day never comes. So please call me out on my bullshit if I ever repeat any of these. Thank you. But before we get into the video, guys, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. Because if you don't, next time you go onto some sort of site where you need to do one of those security things, like one of those CAPTCHA things, you're going to put in the correct thing, but it's going to say that you're wrong, which I believe this has probably happened to everyone. It's got the fucking squiggly looking ass letters, and you're like, okay, cool. They're trying to prove I'm not a fucking robot. So I typed in in your goddamn hieroglyphics and you still say I'm wrong. And then I had to refresh it 16 times and then you kicked me out of it because you're like, you are a robot and you fucking, I don't know. I've had some issues with that, just to let you know. But yeah. So you're going to fail those as well, and you don't want to go through that same pain. It is very annoying, and then you'll basically just kind of give up what you're even doing. Maybe you're going to purchase something, and that right there caused the other people to lose a sale. So fuck captchas, dude. They're annoying. All right. Better off leaving a like. Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Oh, but before we get into the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it. See if you don't. Next time you go to enjoy a delicious snack of maybe some milk and cookies, right? Go to put your cookie into the milk. Dunk it in, you'll get a little bit of that moisture on there. Cookie's actually going to break off and fall into the bottom of the glass, and that's just one of the worst tragedies possible, right? Because you're dealt with a dilemma. Do you stick your hand in the milk, try to grab the cookie out? It's not very sanitary, right? Do you leave it in there and just let the cookie crumble, or try to get it as you drink the milk? Or do you get like a spoon and try to fish it out there? Again, maybe resulting in too much pressure and making the cookie break up even more in there. Honestly, wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy, but I here to combat this. Leaving a like definitely does help. Believe me, scientifically proven. Appreciate it. But before we get into the video, guys, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because here if you don't, you'll actually end up waking up one day, right? And then you'll be like, oh shit, I'm late. And then you'll start to get ready for school or work or something. And then you'll realize it's the weekend. Like today's the weekend. And then you're just going to be like, oh, fuck, I got up at like 6 a.m. when I could have slept in or something like that. So that's just the worst. You guys ever have that before? You know what's the worst, too? Is whenever I have to go somewhere when I used to, like, have to go to work and stuff like that at an actual job, right? I would just randomly wake up before my alarm because I was so nervous that I would freaking miss it. So I ended up getting less sleep than normal. Oh, that shit's terrible, too. But anyways, to combat all of these things, we'll say, go ahead and drop a like. Appreciate it. But before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you're hunting for a nice, like, piece of gear, maybe a weapon for one of your characters in For Honor, you're actually gonna have a full gear loadout, and you're not gonna realize it until you're like, wait, shit, I've been playing games, why am I not getting gear? And then you look, and you got that 60 out of 60, and then you're just gonna be really freaking pissed, because you kind of, you know, we're playing the games expecting to maybe get something. You never got it. And then that's really annoying, believe me. But at this point, honestly, I have all my shit at like 60 because I basically have everything I want. But, you know, regardless, it is an annoyance and you definitely don't want it to happen. So in order to get that spicy, fresh fashion gear that we all so much covet in the For Honors, better off leaving a like. But before we get into today's video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time you go to download something or maybe update something like For Honor, you know, new update goes live. Maybe you do it while you're sleeping or something, or while you're away. You're going to start that download, and either a couple things are going to happen. One, it's just not going to start. Or two, your internet might go out during the download, and it stops it completely. Therefore, when you get back all excited to play the new game or update that you have for whichever thing you're doing, it's not going to be there, and then you're going to have to wait even longer for it to happen. And let me tell you, this has happened to me on a few occasions because Comcast sometimes sucks, but you definitely don't want it to happen, right? We got to get into our gaming as soon as possible, especially with the Season 12 update right here, so you're better off leaving a like for damn sure. Oh, but before we get in the video, guys, would appreciate if you dropped a like on it, because I hear if you don't, next time, just listen here. Hear me out, guys. Next time, you just by some random occurrence, you get a real good night's sleep, right? Just something that you didn't expect. Deep sleep throughout the entire night. You know, that's the stuff that we dream of, right, as gamers, right? You're going to wake up and you're going to be more tired than you do on your normal sleep days when you get, like, you know, 3-4 hours of sleep. And it's just going to be annoying. You're like, huh, they say we need this sleep thing, but I woke up and I'm much more tired even after getting my 8 hours. Some bullshit right here, all right? And then you're just going to be like, well, fuck it. Might as well not even try to get good sleep, and then you'll get, like, 2-3 hours again, and then you'll be feeling fit and ready to go, which probably isn't good for your body. But it's like, why when I get a good night's sleep, am I more tired? It just doesn't make sense. Now, does it? I don't know. I don't know how the sleep cycle works. But yeah, anyways, better off leaving a like. Appreciate it. You got to stay awake for those games. And that was the compilation. Make sure, again, you guys are in that giveaway, and make sure you're following the Twitch as well. We're getting close to that 10K followers that I do want to try to hit before the end of the year. You guys are amazing. Thanks again. It's been your boy Tony. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.